General Kane, welcome, welcome. And I also want to recognize, General, your trip north to Alaska last week or 2 weeks ago. We appreciate that. We all know, everyone in this room knows the strategic role that Alaska plays when it comes to being on the front lines, whether it is the threat from China, Russia, Iran, North Korea. We're sitting up there. We host the backbone of our nation's missile defense there at Fort Greely, advanced fifth-generation fighters at Eielson and at JBER, critical long-range radar and surveillance systems throughout the state. We've got key airborne forces at JBER, Fort Wainwright. I mean, it's good. It's solid. We appreciate it, and we think that we're in a pretty critical place, and we think that you recognize and acknowledge that we're in a pretty critical place. And yet the FY25 Defense Budget Overview document that was released under the last administration stated that the goal of the budget request in terms of the Arctic was to, quote, develop a monitor and respond approach. I thought that that was a pretty passive approach in a highly critical region. We don't need to go into how many icebreakers we have versus Russia. The good news is that with this reconciliation bill that we're talking about, we move to make a difference in an aggressive way that is really, really important. But I will share with you that I'm a little bit frustrated where we've got stated support for the role in the Arctic region, and I'm assuming that means the U.S. Arctic region. There's a seeming fixation on Greenland that I think sends, I don't know whether it's a troubling signal or a mixed signal, that we're looking past the significance of the U.S. Arctic and the area that is already part of the United States, and happily so. But I like to remind people, everything that the administration wants in Greenland, when it comes to strategic location, when it comes to resources and minerals, we've got it on the U.S. side. So I think any serious Arctic policy has to start with a serious investment in Alaska. We've built it. We need to do more. I would just ask both you, Mr. Secretary, and General Kane, your view of the strategic importance of Alaska and more importantly, the broader Arctic, because this is really, when we're talking about DoD posturing, to make sure that we're deterring adversaries in the region. I just came from a relatively uncomfortable exchange with the Army Corps of Engineers. We don't have a deep water Arctic port in the United States. Everybody says it's important, and the signal of importance that we got was a $3 million placeholder in the budget. To me, that doesn't signify significance. I'm going to stop talking to listen to both of you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I agree with you. It's difficult to understate the strategic significance of Alaska, whether you're looking at Indo-PACOM, whether you're looking at Russia, whether you're looking at the Arctic, whether you're looking at space-based capabilities, whether you're looking at energy. You name it. It's both a defensive posture, but also a power projection posture that is a central focus of how we plan.
Senator, first, thanks for letting me visit up there. I got a full range of academics from your colleague about Billy Mitchell and air power history.
How many times did you hear that?
Ma'am, only a few.
Okay.
But, you know, as the Secretary said, the northern flank is critical, and it's in the right place on the globe for us to be able to do a lot of things from that power projection platform. And so as the department considers through the Secretary force rail, I know it will be high on our radar.
Well, I appreciate that, and appreciate the continued focus. There's a lot of focus on the Indo-PACOM, should be, but just remember, we sit right on top of it. We're connected, we're part of that.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm running out of time. I have been concerned. We have E3 capability up north, of course, but we were all counting on the E7 wedge tail coming coming our way. We're kind of limping along up north right now, which is unfortunate. And the budget proposes terminating the program. Again, the E3 fleet barely operational now, and I understand the intent to shift towards the space-based, you call it the air-moving target indicators, but my concern is that you've got a situation where you're not going to be able to use more duct tape to hold things together until you put this system in place. And so how we maintain that level of operational readiness and coverage, I'm not sure how you make it. General Kane?
Well, ma'am, thank you for the question. You know, the E3 and the E3 community have been really important to us for a long, long time. And I'll defer to the comptroller, but you know, the department has a bridging strategy through investing in some additional airborne platforms in order to gap fill while the space-based capabilities come online.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Ma'am, we do have in the budget $150 million in FY26 for a joint expeditionary E2D unit with 5 dedicated E2Ds, and the budget also funds for additional E2Ds to fill the near-term gap at $1.4 billion.
And can you tell me how that will that have implications for what we're seeing up north in Alaska?
I would defer to the Secretary and the Chairman on that question, ma'am.
The answer is yes. I would file this entire discussion under difficult choices that we have to make. But you know, the E7 in particular be sort of late, more expensive and gold-plated, and so filling the gap and then shifting to space-based ISR is a portion of how we think we can do it best, considering all the challenges.
Well, I appreciate the indulgence of the chair. My time is well over. If I can get, if your teams can come back with us to just give us a little bit of a walkthrough in terms of what we can be expecting in this space, I would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
We will.
Thank you all.